Hello again, spy camera fans. I don't know why I'm getting into these things. It's just random gadgets, really. I don't know. Just growing up watching James Bond and stuff, I guess. Anyway, so here we have some nice packaging, actually. Decently stiff box here. And then we have this seller added some sort of contact info. There's some warranty card, which I'll never probably put to use. Some sort of Jerome's thanking us for business. And then on the back we have some CE approval, FCC approval, it looks like. I think I'll use this box to send something when I sell it on eBay. Here's some Chinese stuff that I can't make out. Well, actually I can make out a little bit. So it's off in that position. On if you pull it away from that shape. The USB's back here and the SD card is there. So, alright. It's supposed to be 1080p and movie file, I guess. FAT32 is how you want to format the card, which I've already done, and I guess it'll take a Type C, so that's good. Nice foam here. This lanyard here was actually outside of the box. I don't know why. Maybe it belonged in the box, but that's how it showed up. And then we do have a Type C cable here, and then we have two adapters. If you wanna, I guess. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can go Type C to Type C with a power bank. Or Type C to a micro. That I don't know. I don't understand the logic of that. But this is a SD card reader, so we'll have to see if you can plug it in directly into a computer, though. And then it's got this thing. Wow, this is actually made of metal. It's quite cold to the touch and quite heavy. Heavy enough that I want to know how much it weighs. 32 grams. 33. It's pretty heavy for something that small. And how small is it? Because I didn't see it on this diagram so much. No, I did not. Maybe the AliExpress listing says, but 5 centimeters, which is like 2 inches. Widthwise, it is about 23 millimeters, or I don't know what that is, 7/8 of an inch. Thickness is around 14 millimeters, or maybe like half an inch or something. So it's quite small, yeah. Gonna go on a keychain probably. There's this little plastic film, I think. Yeah, let me get that off because that's gonna affect the video, I assume. Alright, come on. There we go. Alright, so that's the video camera, obviously. And then there's the charge port. And now I have some formatted cards. I'm gonna put a class 10 card in here. This is a 64 gigabyte card. And you want to put the contacts towards the middle because that's where the board is going to be. That is in place. I think. Why is it not locking in place? Unless it really can't possibly be the other way. No. I think maybe it's because I'm missing fingernails. Let me try to push it in with another card. Well, let me put it in the upside down. Doesn't make sense. No, it won't go in that way. Ah, boy, why is this not locking in place? There it goes. So, it takes a little fidgeting, but eventually you'll lock it in place. Okay, so, with that said, I guess there's no photo mode, which I appreciate, because I find those controls annoying. Just get a camera if you want to take a photo. So, I'm going to turn it on. You know what? I gotta get some subject material. Hold on. Alright, so there's a bunch of stuff we can video here. Here's the AliExpress listing, by the way. I'll leave this link. I bought it with no memory for 36 bucks, but it's going to depend on what country you're in. I think they set the prices per country because they know Americans will pay more. Alright, I have a variety of things to record. So when you're charging it, by the way, your blue light comes on. But the light does not come on when you're recording. Actually, it might have been recording right there because I had it plugged into the computer. So right now it's in the off position, and it wants to be held with the text upright. So I'm going to turn it on. There, now it's recording. Text upright, just to show, I'm going to rotate it, and we'll see that in the playback. But back upright. So we're looking at the screen right now. We'll have to see how clearly that comes out. Also, this listing says if you put in a 128 gigabyte, you're going to get 16 hours of recording, and then you can divide the math you know, and it takes around 2 hours to charge this thing. There's a 600 milliamp hour battery in this thing. Alright, so now let's look at these models. A couple of characters there. This ruler here, it's around a foot long or 30 centimeters, but I'm closer than that. I'm going to get in really close to this one, and this one is probably going to be blurry. That's what I've noticed on these cameras. And then here's some text here. I'm going to just put it this high up above it, and we'll see if it can read it. That shiny ruler, see if we can read that. This little thing. And then the actual box is like a silver sticker with some black text. And then let's take a look at these images here. I'm holding it very still. Some red on white text. And now I do feel like I'm probably too close. It might be blurry. So if I now hold that text this far away, which is probably like 40 centimeters away, we'll have to see how well that does. And then obviously the screen again. Alright, so I'm going to turn this off now. So that video should be done. There might be 2 videos though, because it was already plugged in. So I'm just going to plug in the Type-C cable, a different one that's hooked up to the computer. And now I'm going to turn this on. See, it's the charge light came on, but... So it's nice that you don't have to take out the flash card. So under DCM-IM, there's video. Oh, pleasantly there is only one video. Okay, let's take a look at this. Hold on, let me get these out of the way. And also, this is an AVI file, by the way. So Windows Media Player in Windows 11 won't play AVI files. So I had to download something called Real Player, and I just have that as my default player now for AVI files. Right, just to show, I'm going to rotate it, and we'll see that in the playback. Put back up right. So we're looking at the screen right now. We'll have to see how clearly that comes out. Also, this listing says if you put in a 128 gigabyte, you're going to get 16 hours of recording, and then you can divide the math, you know. And it takes around 2 hours to charge this thing. There's a 600 milliamp hour battery in this thing. Alright, so now let's look at these models. A couple of characters there. This ruler here, it's around a foot long or 30 centimeters, but I'm closer than that. I'm going to get in really close to this one, and this one is probably going to be blurry. That's what I've noticed on these cameras. And then here's some text here. I'm going to just put it this high up above it, and we'll see if we can read it. That shiny ruler, see if we can read that. This little thing. And then the actual box is like a silver sticker with some black text. And then let's take a look at these images here. I'm holding it very still. Some red on white text. And now I do feel like I'm probably too close. It might be blurry. So if I now hold that text this far away, which is probably like 40 centimeters away, we'll have to see how well that does, and then obviously the screen again. Alright, so I'm going to turn this off now. Alright, so you saw the playback, and actually I'm more impressed than I thought it would be. It's just that some of the other cameras I reviewed, they're really blurry up close. So yeah, it couldn't read the shiny sticker as you saw, because maybe the LEDs, I mean you can't see it right now. It could have just been the angle, right? The reflectivity of it, so I don't count that. But it did pretty well reading the paper, I thought. The black and white paper. It had a harder time with the toy box. Again, it could have been the angle maybe throwing it off, and the fact that this LED light is quite bright. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go take a video on my balcony at night, and let's see how that looks. Right, they're actually painting my building, and so there's this green stuff to keep the spray from getting all over the place. But here's some plants. And then I'm going to spray paint this clear coat onto one of my coasters here. We'll see how well it can pick that up. Okay. Over there's my 3D printer. There's a couple plants here. Alright, let's go inside and look at a low-level indoor environment. So there's only 2 ceiling lights up there. There's a cat hanging out. So it's pretty dim in here. What's going on? What's happening? 30 centimeters away. Show documents here if you want to scan documents quickly with this thing. Let me go in and pull out, and the cat. So I'm back after using it for a day outside. One note here is I tried to use a metal ring, a key ring, and it won't go through there because this opening goes right to the electronics board. So there's nothing pushing this thing out. It took a while for me to get this thing in here. I had to use a tiny little hook to snag it because the cloth wanted to just go right into the thing in either direction. So be mindful of that. All these scratches are because I tried to use a really small key ring and then a medium-sized key ring, and I just can't get it through that angle. So, but it is nice that it's an aluminum body. As I was running it, it never even got warm. I have to assume this metal body is as a heat sink to cool the thing off, but it never got warm. So that's a good thing. The thing is stable as long as you have a steady hand. As you see in my footage, I'm hand carrying it on a golf cart and walking across a crosswalk. It's obviously quite a shaky image. Something this small, there's no image stabilization. But when it just sits still, or I'm taking my time, trying to read like a document, it does a good job. So I think it's pretty good for what you pay for. You just gotta keep in mind that it's most likely going to be best used if you just put it on record and you just put it on the table, and then it's going to be a steady image. It's not really meant for close-up stuff. And also some of my footage, I didn't know where I was pointing it yet. It's going to take a lot of practice to figure out where you should be pointing this thing to really have it all centered. So obviously if it's far away, it's not an issue. But if you try starting to video something this close, I'm probably like, it's either this might not be even in the frame of the video. I did also try to hook this up to my Android phone, my Galaxy phone. And I could not see the files. It just would not. It would recognize the drive, but I couldn't find the folder that contained the video or the photos. And then every time I removed it, it corrupted the card, so I had to reformat the card. But if I just plugged this right into my PC, it would just download the movie files, the AVI files. And so another note is a Windows Media Player in Windows 11 won't read that file format. So I used Real Player to look at those. Older versions of Windows will see the files. It's just Windows, or removing things and just being stupid, so they'll make you buy Windows 12 when they add it back. I went and added some black paint here to make it a little less obvious, all that etched text there. So anyways, all in all, I think it's really great. It's really small. It seems really robust. Obviously, I'm not looking forward to the day I drop it right here because it will break that. But this I don't mind because it's all aluminum. I don't think it's going to break in the majority of it. So, and then I guess it's nice that they give you these little accessories. But you don't need to even use this because you can just hook up the Type-C cable, and once you turn it on, your computer will see it as a drive. So that's great. So this one I definitely like. It's much better than the pen I reviewed, and it's better than the watch I reviewed, because those other two, it's just really hard to point the camera where you're supposed to be doing it. It's also, all three of them are very shaky. There's no image stabilization again. Alright, well, that's a kind of a long review. Hopefully I can help sway you to either not buy this or go ahead and buy it. Either way, it works. Alright, we'll see you in the next gadget review. Thanks for watching.